Welcome to Ripcaster. My name's John Nelson and we're a hi-fi dealer based between Reading and Oxford in the UK. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Lumin P1 network music player. The P1 is at the higher end of Lumin's product range. We'll have a look what's in the box and then we'll connect it up to a typical system that you might find in your home. Alright, so we'll just have a look what we get in the box. So it looks like there's a couple of quick start guides and safety information. A pair of white gloves, nice touch. And then the actual unit, very well packed box, and then the actual unit is in a bag. Alright, we'll put the unit on one side. Bottom of the box there are some accessory packs. And looks like some cables. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at what we get in the accessory pack. We get a remote control. That's a very nice remote control. It's got a good weight to it. Nice positive buttons. Infrared control package. Instructions. Okay, so it gives us a brief guide of how to use it. Looks like there's a magic eye that we can connect to the back of the unit. Some batteries to go with it. Put the batteries and the remote on one side. Let's have a look what's in this bag. It's a UK model we've got, so it has a UK mains and Ethernet cable. Alright, let's just take the unit out of the bag. It's quite heavy. I think what we'll do now is just put it on the turntable and let you have a quick look at it. So as you can see, it's in a very highly finished aluminium case with this very distinctive curved front. It's got a little display in the middle there with track and title information and a power indicator above the brand name Lumin. 9 digital and analogue inputs, USB digital audio input and output support up to Native DSD512. Balanced and unbalanced analogue inputs, digital SPDIF and AES input support, HDMI 2 inputs and 4K pass-through with ARC. It's got a new processor delivering Native DSD512 and PCM384 playback. It's a dual mono design throughout, maximising channel separation. It features dual Sabre DACs in mono mode. It's got a femto clock system with precision FPGA distribution. It's got a new dual toroidal linear power supply in all one chassis. It's a separate power supply both for the digital section as well as a separate power supply for the analog sections. It's got a fibre network connection, provides complete isolation from digital noise. It features a Lear processing lossless volume control. As far as streaming services are concerned, the Lumin P1 supports Spotify, it's got MQA, it's room ready, it's got Tidal, Tidal Connect, Quobuz, AirPlay, it supports TuneIn and it does multi-room as well. So it covers all bases with most of the popular streaming platforms, including UPnP and direct playback from USB attached storage. Okay, so let's just have a look at what's on the rear panel. On the far side there you've got mains, on-off and IEC input. We've then got, on the bottom row, we've got all the outputs, and on the top row we've got all the inputs. So if we do the top row first, we'll start over here. So we've got balanced XLR inputs left and right. We've got an unbalanced analog input here. We've got a digital AES EBU input, coaxial RCA input, an optical input. And then we've got 3 HDMI inputs for audio and an HDMI output and ARC input. Then on the bottom line we've got our outputs. So we've got unbalanced and balanced outputs for analog outputs, and then we've got digital coax, we've got a USB audio input and output, we've got our data Ethernet, both RJ45 and fibre optical input. Now you can see that on quite a few of the higher end streaming products today to isolate electrical noise coming in over the Ethernet port, that you've got the option to go directly fibre into the product. And then we've also got a USB input, a bounding post for grounding. Looks like there's a reset button there, a reset button if you need to reset the product. So I think what we'll do now is connect it up and just have a quick look at how it might be used with a typical system. We've got the Lumin P1 here, and we're going to use it with this Lin Climax Twin power amp. We'll just connect up the equipment, so we're going to go analog output from the Lumin into the XLR inputs on our twin amplifier, left and right. We're going to need a bit of data, so we'll go into our Ethernet port, a bit of data. We'll need some power, like so. We need a bit of power for our amplifier, like so. You will need to connect our speakers to our amplifier, like so. Alright, all connected. We've got our speakers connected, power, signal cable to our power amp. We should be good to go at this point. So we've connected it up, we've got our power amp on, we've got our Lumin. If we just turn it on at the back, it will come up and just show that it's booting. And there's obviously firmware on these devices, so if there's any updates or anything, it will notify you that there is a firmware update, and those are delivered over the air. And at this point it should be ready to start. It tells us it's got the Leo volume processing enabled, and it's come up with what the previous track was that I was actually playing. Now at this point I can use the infrared remote control. So I've obviously got volume up and volume down, and I'm not quite sure what YouTube's going to do about this, but we've got some Susan Vega queued up. So if I press play, we should get the start of Susan Vega. And again, because I've already got tracks queued up in the queue, I can just use the normal shutter controls on here, so I can go forward and it will go to the next track within the track or to the next track. So these controls give us skipping within the track. This goes backwards and forwards within the queue. This is the iPad app that we're going to use to control it as well. So it's displaying the album art currently of Susan Vega. It's quite a comprehensive app. If I click on the sources here, it shows us all the different inputs that we could select on the back of the unit. So I've got my analog balanced, my analog RCA, digital AES EBU, digital RCA, optical, digital USB, HDMI 1, 2, 3 and HDMI ARC. So if I've got an input into the back of there and want to listen to the ARC coming out of the TV, for example, I would just select that input. I can obviously control it using the native Lumin App. It's a Roon endpoint, so if I go into Roon, wherever that is, there, it should also allow us to select the unit. So I go into Settings, Audio, and we should be able to see the Lumin P2 somewhere already enabled. Select audio source P2. Multiple ways to control it: the Lumin App, Roon, Spotify Connect, Tidal Connect, and it'll play from multiple sources, Quobuz, Tidal, etc. Okay, I hope you found that useful. Quick introduction to the Lumin P1. Very capable all-in-one streamer preamp DAC. I welcome you to visit us at Ripcaster so you can hear this and the rest of the Lumin range. Thanks for watching.